Is your electrical business basically invisible on Google Maps? You know, that place where everyone who needs an electrician actually searches? Hey there, I'm Leonard Parker with Destiny Marketing Solutions. For almost a decade now, we've been helping electrical service companies like yours get found by the customers who need them the most. And I've got to tell you, if your Google business profile isn't fully optimized, you're essentially wearing an invisibility cloak while your competitors are stealing your jobs. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why most electricians are practically ghosts on Google Maps and the specific fixes that can transform your online visibility. Plus, stick around for an expert tip at the end about service areas and local pages that could be the hidden circuit breaker in your marketing system. Here's the shocking reality most electrical businesses don't understand. Google Maps isn't just some digital business card you can set up once and forget. When I mean by Google Maps, your Google business profile. It's the primary battlefield where ready-to-buy customers are actively searching for help. Think about it. When someone's panel is smoking, or their lights are flickering, are they leisurely browsing the yellow pages? No. They're grabbing their phone and typing "electrician near me" into Google. And if you're missing or inactive on Google Maps, you're completely invisible to these high-intent customers. What many electricians don't realize is that your profile isn't just a business card. It's actually a lead magnet when optimized correctly. Looking at the data, Google's algorithm heavily rewards complete, updated profiles with prime positioning at exactly the moment customers need you. The cost of a weak Google profile isn't just theoretical, it's bleeding actual leads and revenue daily. According to our research, broken profiles quietly lose electrical businesses thousands of dollars in potential jobs. When your profile is incomplete or outdated, you're essentially handing money directly to the competition who show up in those top 3 map listings. Now, let's dive into the first critical mistake almost every electrical business makes. NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. And inconsistencies here are digital poison for your visibility. When we audit electrical businesses, we consistently find that their NAP information varies across different platforms. Your Google listing may say ABC Electric, while your website has ABC Electrical Service, and Yelp shows ABC Electrical. Those are all 3 different names if you didn't catch it. So these inconsistencies confuse Google and lower trust in your business. One underappreciated aspect of NAP is phone number selection. Many electricians use toll-free numbers on their profiles, not realizing that local phone numbers significantly improve rankings. Google's algorithm strongly prefers local area codes as a relevant signal, which makes perfect sense. Customers want a local electrician, not someone 3 states away. Another subtle but powerful NAP element is your business hours. If you truly offer 24/7 emergency electrical service, and most successful electricians do, your hours should reflect this availability. We recently audited an electrical business that claimed to offer emergency service, but they had standard 9 to 5 hours in their profile. They were missing every late night electrical emergency in their area. The bottom line, confirmed by our data analysis, just one NAP error can completely knock you out of the map pack, especially if you're competing in a competitive major metro area. NAP consistency is that serious for your visibility. So I'm going to switch gears here and actually switch over to another tab in my browser. And what I suggest if you're just getting started with local SEO and your Google Maps optimization, Google Business Profile optimization, run a citation audit for your business. SEMrush, I use SEMrush, that's our go-to SEO tool. But what you'll realize is that there might be errors out there that you had no idea existed. And perhaps maybe your office location, maybe it was a previous business there, let's say a law firm. And so when you do enough of these audits, I've seen some crazy things where email addresses were updated over the years for a business, but they're still using that same email address from 10 years ago. Same thing with phone number. And you might even have some profiles that list a previous business. So I actually used a law firm example because that's something that we've seen here very recently. So what you're looking here on my screen, this is the citation audit results for Mr. Electric of Katy. And to be clear, we're in no way affiliated with them, but I thought it would be best to use this as an example. And what you can see here, they have an overall online presence of bad, listings to fix, so 32 out of 42. It gives you an overall average rating and then a total number of reviews. So moving on here, we see that the tool will look at all of the major citation websites. So think Facebook, Yelp, Bing, your Google Business Profile, of course. And then there are many others that we click further down that are all part of an effective online citation presence. And so these are what we call very general citations. So any industry, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, there's going to be a difference between your general citation sites like those that I just mentioned and niche specific sites. And so as we look at these different citation sites, we see there's no phone number listed on the Facebook. On the Bing, that's not present. Bing Places, it's Bing's version of the Google Business Profile. It's very overlooked, but it could be a great way to get more visibility on a search engine that's not as competitive, but there still might be users in your market that are using it. And so you can even see here, SEMrush has listed that the directory's monthly visits is over 650 million. So of course that's an overall number, but just think about that's a missing opportunity that you watching this video can go in and take care of today. Probably have your listing up today, especially if you already have your Google Business Profile, because there is a way to connect your Google account with your Bing account, and you can get that set up very quickly. But nevertheless, it looks like mostly issues with the wrong phone number. So this might be a case where they have, if I look here, they have a 346 area code number, but then we scroll down a bit further, there's a 281 number. And these types of nuances, it does create a lot of confusion for the search engines when they're looking at this business versus others. And what I'm assuming here is that maybe one phone number is the public number that they use to take in calls, while the other might be a customer support number or the main office line. So you just want to be mindful of these types of nuances when you're building out your local citations and ensuring that they're consistent across the board. But all is not lost. They do have some websites, some listings that are actually in good standing, so there are no issues. So again, it might just be a case where this is overlooked, where they need to just go in and update the listings on those websites. So I use SEMrush, but there are other options out there. Whitespark.ca is very popular for citation management. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Yext because this should be a one-time fix, not necessarily something you need to pay for over and over again. If your citation is a good standing, you just fix it once, and maybe once a year, you just run an audit to make sure there's nothing that needs to be updated. So definitely not something, citation management that I would suggest you having to pay on an ongoing basis. Moving to another critical optimization area. Let's talk about business categories, which our testing has shown is one of the biggest ranking factors in the local pack. Here's a non-negotiable fact. Your primary category should be electrician, not electrical installation service or any other variation. Why? Because electrician is what your customers actually search for. And Google's algorithm gives tremendous weight to exact category matches. But where most electricians go wrong is stopping with just one category. Google allows up to 9 secondary categories, which gives you massive opportunities to target specific high-value services. If you install EV charging stations, add EV charging station installer as a secondary category. Do commercial work, add commercial electrician to capture those searches too. In our work with electrical businesses, we've seen category optimization alone increase visibility by up to 40%. Just last month, we helped an electrician specializing in EV charging installation add the proper secondary category, and their calls for those high-margin jobs jumped immediately. The most common category mistake? Diluting your focus with unrelated categories like handyman or general contractor. Our testing shows this actually hurts your rankings for electrical-specific searches. Google wants specialists, not generalists. Remember this key insight. You can't win a game that Google doesn't even know you're playing. Choose your category strategically to show up where it matters the most. And again, I'm going to switch over here to my browser and just show you, I'm actually going to use my Google business profile as a use case here. So what you can do when you're editing your profile, just click through here. And of course you have to make sure that you're logged into your Google account that owns your Google profile, Google business profile. And you see here at the very top, you have the different business categories. And like I said, you can pick up to 9. And there might be some very obscure categories that actually applies to your electrical services. And so what I'll do, I'll link here in the video description, the complete list of those categories so that you can see what's available. Now clicking back over to my content, let's move on to the next topic. And let's talk about keywords. But from a more strategic angle than most people understand. You probably understand that you optimize your website for certain keywords, and that makes your site more visible in the search engines. But let's apply some strategy to your Google business profile. Keyword placement isn't about stuffing terms everywhere. It's about local relevant signals. The proven approach is to strategically place service and location keywords throughout your profile. In your business description, naturally mention your primary services alongside neighborhoods you commonly serve. Our data shows that profiles mentioning specific neighborhoods see up to 35% better visibility in those local areas, or in what we call in SEO, those hyperlocal areas. One often overlooked goldmine is your services section. Too many electrical businesses simply list electrical repair when they could be using 24/7 emergency electrical repairs in North Houston. A massive difference in specificity that Google rewards. But here's the most underutilized section of all, the Q&A area. Nearly 90% of electrical business profiles we audit have completely empty Q&A sections. You might not even know this section exists. It's not something that Google just puts out there front and center. Smart electricians see their own questions like, do you install EV chargers in Katy? And answer them thoroughly. This creates additional keyword-rich content that Google indexes. And a critical warning based on our research, I should say. Avoid keyword stuffing in your business name. While it might give a temporary boost, Google's algorithm has become increasingly sophisticated at detecting and penalizing this practice. I've seen it over and over again. So please use your brand name, your company name, not something like Idaho Electrical Services, unless of course that is your business name. So that does bring up, you might want to consider SEO if you're just starting off and you are looking to figure out a name for your business. But that shouldn't be the only determining factor when choosing a business name, but something to consider. We've seen electricians completely disappear from the maps after adding Best Emergency Electrician to their business name. The data is clear on this one. Ranking high means talking like the people searching for you. When customers search for licensed electrician for panel upgrades near me, Google looks for those exact terms in your profile. Make sure they are there naturally. And again, I'm going to switch back over here to my browser. So I discussed a few things there, and let me show you where you can edit some of these things that I mentioned. So click out of that. Again, I'm still logged into my account, and these are the services section. So you can go in here and add services. I would say, again, you don't really have a limit here, but really focus on your top maybe 5 to 7 services, no more. And then this is where you can get very specific. So you can go add custom service. You have a character count of 120 that you can use here. And again, try to make it natural. So again, try to avoid keyword stuffing. Really go after what you do and try to tie it back to your local service area. Now, moving out of services, you can also see that there are different categories that you can add. So Google, what they'll do, they'll actually allow you to, let's click into this. You can actually include pricing. There's no definitive data on whether this helps or not, but maybe if you have a starting price, so you can choose the from option and you can put that service price there. And then you want to also provide service description. So this again is where you can sprinkle in more SEO, more keywords, more information about your target locations, your service area. And still you want to make sure that it's natural, and you have up to 300 characters for this. So I'm click out of here. You'll see that there are those different categories. So again, I would suggest first starting with adding a business category, and then from there, start building out your services for each category. So it might help to write this down before you go here to your Google business profile to start adding things. The other thing that I went over there is the Q&A. So you can go here and ask a question. So what I do, I either have multiple Google accounts where I can go in and ask the question and answer it from the account that owns the profile. Or if you have a team or even loved ones, you can have them go in with their Google accounts and ask questions. But the key here is that you want to see questions that are relevant to your services that people are searching for. So if we go over here to common electrical issues, you can see that, again, this is just a Google search I did for this video. But what you want to do is find this people also ask section. And these are questions that are commonly searched for that are related to this search query. So what are the 10 common electrical problems and solutions? And maybe you can break those down and have one question per issue. What are the signs of bad electrical wiring? Maybe you have a prospective customer who's not confident in previous electrical service that was rendered to their home or business. Are there warning signs before electrical fire? So you get the point here. You want to understand what are those questions that people are asking. People also ask is a great option if you just quickly want to get to those questions. And you can, if once you start drilling down, expanding these different menus, you'll see that this list of questions gets longer. So I would just go through this and write down those questions, write down your answers, and get them into the Google Business profile. You can also, of course, look at or review the questions that you're commonly getting from your sales prospects, from your current customers, and those are great also to add to your Google Business profile. Again, this is something that's very overlooked. I'm sure that many people don't know it exists, but again, it can be a great way to target specific pain points that people are searching for in your area. Now, moving back to my slides, Transitioning into visual elements. So if you have a Google business profile, you're likely aware that Google, or you do have the option to upload pictures and video clips to that profile. These could silently be sabotaging your lead generation, because if you don't have pictures there, Google will default to the Street View picture, which is never a good version of your business or what you probably want it to be. Sometimes it's a dumpster or something random like this that's not relevant. You want to make sure you're proactive in uploading pictures and videos that are relevant. In analyzing now hundreds of business profiles, we found a clear pattern. Those with robust, quality photo galleries dramatically outperform competitors. Let me share some eye-opening stats. According to a Bright Local study, businesses with over 100 photos on their Google profiles get 520% more calls, 2,717% more direction requests, and 1,065% more website clicks than businesses with just a few images. Now, of course, I'm not expecting you to go after you watch this video and upload 100 photos. Of course, you can if you want, but you might need to actually take those photos and video so that they're ready for your profile. But those numbers are staggering, don't you think? And as those numbers show, these photos and other rich media can directly impact your bottom line. But it's not all about quantity isn't enough. Our research also shows that specific types of photos perform best for electrical businesses, branded trucks, uniformed technicians, so members of your team, before and after project photos, and images showing your work across different neighborhoods in your service area. The absolute worst mistake, using stock photos. Our eye tracking studies show customers can spot generic electrical images instantly, creating an immediate trust barrier. One electrical business we consulted with replaced their stock images with actual job photos and saw a 26% increase in call conversions within the first month. And these are photos that they put together maybe in a few days. They just had their technicians make sure to take photos of the work they were completing for the customer. And by the end of that first week, we had videos, pictures that we could use with their Google business profile. Another technical advantage most electricians miss: using EXIF tools to embed location data in your photos before uploading. Now, depending on the device that you're using to take the pictures, this information might automatically be updated, but the idea here is that you want to geotag your images. So let's say if you're in a specific part of your area, your service area, make sure that you geotag that image with the coordinates of that area, the longitude, latitude coordinates. And so I've shared in a separate video how you can do this, but I'll also drop a link to that video along with the tool that we use to geotag images in case you want to explore this further. In our controlled tests, geotagged images have consistently improved map visibility in those specific neighborhoods by helping Google understand exactly where you work. The data doesn't lie. Photos are the new first impression, and they need to count. Weekly uploads of geotagged job photos should be part of your standard business process. And now, again, going to take a quick detour to show you an example of a company that's doing very well with their photos. So this is Mr. Electric of Katy, Texas. If you're not familiar, it's a suburb of Houston. And so you can see here, I'm going to zoom in just a bit. They have a good mix of team photos. So you should be able to see that better now. Have a good mix of team photos. They have some pictures with their branding. They also have videos of short 30-second clips of customer testimonials. There you go. The picture with their branded trucks and also other branding. So someone who's looking at these pictures and they're looking for a qualified electrical services provider, they're definitely putting on a great first impression with their branding and with their job site photos. So something to consider when you are working on optimizing your Google business profile. So just make sure that you are proactive with this. And it's always helpful to get pictures with customers and just be creative here. Whatever you think is relevant for the services that you offer. So now I'm going to go back to my content and let's go to the next topic. Reviews. And if you watch any of our videos, I probably mention reviews in most of them, but that's just how important they are for establishing your local online presence with your Google business profile. It's not just about accumulating 5-star ratings. In fact, I think the sweet spot for your reviews is somewhere between 4.5 and 4.8. Again, if you're just not, hitting home runs with every job, great, you have a 5-star rating. But when it's in that 4.5 to 4.8 range, it just comes off as more authentic because there is a market where you can go and buy reviews, unfortunately. So with reviews, it's about strategically using them to boost both visibility and conversion rates. Our keyword analysis reveals that reviews containing both specific job types and locations have significantly higher SEO value. A review saying "Great Electrician" does almost nothing for your rankings, but one that says "ABC Electric did an amazing job installing our EV charger in West Houston" is incredibly powerful for local search. Why does this matter? Our tracking shows that Google's algorithm reads these reviews and associates those specific keywords with your business. When someone searches EV charger installation in West Houston, those keyword-rich reviews directly improve your ranking for that specific search. The implementation is straightforward. After completing a job, send your customers a follow-up message, specifically asking them to mention both the service they receive and their neighborhood in their review. This small change in your review request process can yield massive visibility improvements. If you're finding these strategies valuable, take a second and hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below with your biggest Google Maps challenge. We read every comment and often create new videos addressing the most common questions that we see. Your input directly shapes our future content, so don't be shy. And getting back on track, don't just collect reviews, respond to every single one. Our engagement data shows businesses that respond to all reviews are considered 1.7 times more trustworthy by consumers, so almost twice more trustworthy. Use these responses to naturally reinforce your key services and locations. So you can do something like, "Thanks for choosing us for your panel upgrade in Oak Forest is a neighborhood here in Houston. We appreciate your business." Implementing an automated review system can transform your profile's power. One electrical business we work with added a simple QR code on their invoices linking directly to their Google review form. The result, they went from 3 reviews per month to 10, and their map pack visibility expanded to twice as many searches. Remember this crucial insight. Smart, strategic reviews don't just build trust, they actively boost your ranking for high-value searches. Now, let's discuss an element that 82% of electrical businesses completely neglect: Google Posts. If you're not regularly posting updates to your profile, you're essentially telling Google your business might be dormant. Think of Google Posts like your digital pulse. No post equals no plus. You're dead, at least online. Our internal data shows that profiles with weekly posts receive 14% higher conversion rates from views to calls compared to inactive profiles. This engagement boost directly influences your ranking position. For electrical businesses, we found specific post types perform the best. Completed project showcases, so a before and after dynamic, seasonal electrical safety tips, and special service promotions. Each post should include a strong call to action like "call now" or "get estimate." These interactive elements drive engagement metrics that Google's algorithm values. We recently worked with a business in Austin that implemented a simply weekly posting schedule. Within just 8 weeks, they saw a 22% increase in profile views and a 17% increase in calls. Massive improvements from a 5-minute weekly task. Make each post work harder by highlighting specific neighborhoods or services. Instead of recent kitchen remodel, use kitchen rewiring project in Memorial area. Memorial is a section here in Houston. This reinforces your service areas to Google's algorithm while providing useful content to potential customers. Our tracking clearly shows that when you don't post regularly, Google begins to question your relevance and activity level. Meanwhile, competitors who maintain consistent posting schedules maintain freshness signals that keep them prominent in the search results. The key insight: no post equals no pulse. Google assumes your clothes are irrelevant if you're not regularly updating your profile, and this directly impacts your visibility. So, before I move on to the next topic, I'm also going to go back to Mr. Electric because they are doing a great job with their posts as well. So let's scroll down here. So they do have some things here from, I'm making this at the beginning of May. So they do have some things here for the end of April. You can see here, it's a simple picture of them, one of their team members who's working on a panel. And they're actually adding value with the post. So is it dangerous if a circuit breaker keeps tripping? Long story short, yes. If a circuit breaker automatically trips back off every time you reset it, then stop forcing it. And then you'll see they have this call to action link where you can learn more. So it's actually linking to their blog post. So there's a few things to consider here. You can link to a blog post as they are doing here. It's typically going to be, especially if it's the first interaction that prospect has with your business, unless it's an emergency, they probably want to learn more about that topic before they decide to call you. So, you don't want to go in for the engagement requests on a first touch, but educate, give them some value before you ask for their business. You can also, one strategy that we've used is having a series. So every week you have a new Google business profile post on a specific or related to a overarching topic. So let's say for the month of May, you're really focused on circuit breakers or preparing for the summer. So safety tips for the summer. And what you can do is actually link each of those posts together and then have one post actually link out to a blog or some content you have on your website. So that can be very important, a way to use these Google business profile posts. And something else to consider, these posts are live or visible to the public for 7 days. So after 7 days, it'll still be in the back end of your Google business profile, but your public or your searchers won't necessarily see it. So this is something, again, quick 5-minute task every week. You or someone from your team just go on here, upload a picture, upload some text, and that's your post for the week. And if you watch our other videos, I'm really a big fan of content repurposing. So if you're also active on other social media channels like Facebook, take your Facebook post, rework it a bit for Google Business, your Google Business profile post, and there you have it. You don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. So just a few tips there before I go back to my next topic. So moving on to building real local credibility off of Google. There's an insight here that most electricians miss. What happens outside Google and offline significantly impacts how you rank on Google and your visibility online. Building real local credibility creates powerful trust signals that Google's algorithm cannot ignore. Our citation analysis reveals that electricians should focus on 2 distinct citation types: general business directories like Yelp and Yellow Pages, and industry-specific directories like Angie, HomeAdvisor, and electric-specific listings. Consistency across these platforms reinforces your legitimacy to Google's verification systems. But citations alone aren't enough. Our most successful electrical clients leverage local sponsorships, so they sponsor youth sports teams, charity events, or school programs. These not only generate goodwill, but often result in local backlinks that dramatically boost your map's presence. One client that we work with in the Phoenix area they sponsored 3 local high school sports teams for the 2024-2025 school year, and this total came out to around $1,500. The backlinks from these school websites, as well as the local media coverage, improved their maps visibility more than the $3,000, or I should say $1,500, they were spending monthly on PPC ads. So that could be a strong ROI. Another powerful tactic our data supports: encourage satisfied customers to mention your business on neighborhood forums like Nextdoor or local Facebook groups. These community mentions create digital breadcrumbs that lead back to your business and strengthen your local relevant signals. Local PR opportunities also yield substantial visibility benefits. Getting featured in local business spotlights or industry publications often results in authoritative backlinks that Google heavily weighs in its algorithm. The pattern is clear across hundreds of different profiles we've analyzed. Google trusts businesses that the local community trusts. Build credibility offline, and your online visibility naturally improves. So a couple of additional things there. When you are looking at how you can possibly use offline approaches to help with online, always think about how you can get a link back to your website. I don't want to come off as selfish, but and that's the only reason why you're maybe sponsoring an event. But if that's part of their sponsorship package, make sure that it's going to a page or profile online that is a really big lead generator for your business. In addition to this, there are different PR syndication websites out there, but I suggest trying to find someone who specializes in PR in your area. So it might be helpful to have connections at the local news stations, or for someone on your team to be in charge of that type of work. Because you never know, if there's a season change and they need an expert and you're the first on their list, you might get a guest spot on a news segment. I've had that happen with several clients. So of course you can't beat that type of coverage, that type of marketing. So always look for those opportunities. Now, I'm going to click again away from my slides, and I mentioned something very important. This is an online strategy. It's called local citations. So earlier in the video, I talked about the importance of ensuring that these are consistent with your business name, address, and phone number. But what you may not know is, where should you be adding citations? And so here's a list from Bright Local. It's a authority on local SEO. They have a software. And as I mentioned, you're going to have your general citation sites. So Google Business, Apple Business, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. But then you're also going to have the niche or electric specific opportunities. So Porch, contractors.com, meetingelectrician.com. And I'll drop this link in the video description, but you'll see that these websites, they have specific countries that they serve. And some of them, they do serve multiple countries. So definitely it is worth the time to go through and set up these profiles for your business on these different citation sites, because over time, they can be a great way to generate leads away from your site, away from your Google business profile, but they also help build the authority for your Google presence. Now, scrolling back over here. So moving on to measurement and analytics. Let's discuss a critical blind spot for most electricians. They set up their Google profile and then never analyze the performance data. This is like installing a circuit and never testing if it works. The Google Business Profile Insights feature provides valuable metrics that directly inform your optimization strategy. Profile views, search queries, customer actions, and photo performance. These aren't just stats, they're actionable intelligence that reveals what's working and what needs improvement. We've found that adding UTM tracking parameters to your profile's website link, or as we saw with Mr. Electric, if they are linking to a blog post on their website, adding these UTM tracking parameters allows you to see exactly how much traffic and which conversions come directly from your Google business profile efforts. This data helps calculate the actual return on investment of your optimization efforts, crucial for making informed marketing decisions. One key metric to monitor: sudden drops in views or engagement. In our experience, these typically indicate either a competitor has improved their profile or Google has updated its algorithm. Either way, it's a signal requiring immediate action. Our analysis reveals that addresses, when they're displayed incorrectly on mobile devices, which could be a simple fix, but this could be a culprit in declining traffic to your profile and declining views. And while monitoring these types of metrics, this is something where you could be losing leads indefinitely. The most important insight from our years of tracking: Google's algorithm heavily weighs user behavior signals. That includes your Google business profile and your website. When people consistently click on your listing, call your business, or request directions after viewing your profile, Google interprets these as strong, relevant signals and improves your ranking accordingly. Make data review a monthly discipline in your business. The patterns revealed will guide your optimization strategy for more effective work, and you're not doing guesswork. And again, a very quick detour if you're not sure where to find these insights. So again, you want to log into your business profile. There's going to be a tab called Performance, and then you can see how things are trending over time. And one thing to note about this is that you do have a limit on how far back you can go. So it's roughly 6 months. So it's good to just record this information so that you can look back and say, for May 2025, how does it compare to May 2024 in previous years? And that can help you understand different impacts that seasonality might have on your marketing visibility. Okay. Now let's go back here. And now that I've covered these core optimization elements, you might be wondering how to tie everything together systematically. This is where our full circuit growth method provides a comprehensive framework specifically designed for electrical businesses. Unlike generic marketing approaches, our method addresses the unique challenges electricians face in local search. We developed this system after working with many electrical businesses nationwide, identifying the specific patterns that drive consistent results. The full circuit growth method starts with addressing the fundamental challenge most electrical businesses face: inconsistent lead flow. It then creates a clear pathway through 4 critical stages: getting found by the right clients, converting more leads into profitable projects, knowing precisely what's working and what's not, and ultimately reaching your ideal business outcome. What separates our approach is our focus on building complete systems, not just quick fixes. A properly optimized Google business profile becomes the foundation of one of the foundations of your entire lead generation ecosystem, consistently bringing in high quality opportunities that match your ideal service mix. While most marketing companies offer identical strategies to plumbers, roofers, and electricians, our system recognizes the distinct search patterns and customer behaviors unique to electrical services. From emergency electrical repair searches to longer-term projects like EV charging station installations, each requires specific optimization approaches. With our method, we've helped electrical businesses increase their map pack visibility by as much as 90% in highly competitive markets, resulting in consistent inbound calls from qualified prospects who need exactly the services they offer. Let's make this actionable for your specific situation with our full circuit growth audit, which provides a comprehensive evaluation of your current Google Maps presence. Unlike generic SEO reports or automated tools, our audit delivers a personalized analysis of your Google business profile and complete local search ecosystem. We examine over 150 individual ranking factors to identify precisely what's holding your visibility back. Here's our proven process. First, we audit your Google business profile and identify any ranking blockers currently suppressing your visibility. We analyze your photos, categories, keyword usage, and other technical elements against Google's current algorithm preferences. Next, we review your review strategy, post frequency, and local link profile to identify gaps and opportunities. This competitive analysis is crucial. We directly compare your profile to top local competitors to pinpoint exactly where improvements will yield the biggest visibility gains. Most importantly, you'll receive an actionable implementation plan prioritized by impact, not theoretical advice, but specific steps tailored to your business and service area with estimated visibility improvements for each recommendation. So as mentioned, we help electricians turn underperforming Google profiles into lead magnets. You don't need a new platform. There's always something new that's coming out with marketing for electricians. You need to fix what you already have, and let us help you with that work. Now, before I wrap up this video, I want to share a couple of expert tips. First tip, set realistic service areas in your Google business profile. You may target 10 different suburbs around your major metro area, but make sure that you are really focused and prioritizing maybe those 3 or 4 that are real money makers for your business. And what we suggest is always to create local landing pages. So think about what are those priority pages or areas in your service area, and make sure that you have SEO optimized, unique content for those pages, and then link those back to your Google business profile. And this way, it's not just you just targeting a service area, throwing a Hail Mary, hopefully you get a job there, but you actually have content on your site. And even better, if you have completed projects in that area, this is where you can really start to add value and add credibility for both people who are searching for you and the search algorithms. Our other expert tip, you want to add keyword-rich Q&A. So I already mentioned this about how you can go about finding those questions, but make sure that you are thoroughly including your service and your location in your answers. And this is something that Google indexes. And always think like your customer. What would they ask? And these are great for ranking on long tail service searches. And I already shared how you can use the people also ask section in the Google search results. Another trick I like to use is called perplexity.ai. And Perplexity, it's like a ChatGPT, but it's more research focused. So you can ask it something like common electric issues for homeowners in, let's just say, San Antonio. So it's going to take a little while to search. And while it does, you can also do the same thing here in the Google search results, but it looks like we already have our answer. And there is some good information here. You can see what content is already out there. What I like to do is come down here to the related section, and I'll scroll a bit here. And I don't think I mentioned it, but the URL for this website is perplexity.ai. They also have a mobile app. You can come down here, you can look at the different questions. And what you might find is that the questions have found in the people also ask section are different. And so I say, be exhaustive with it. Make sure that you are thinking about all of the questions that people are asking. And so how can I identify if my home has outdated wiring? Why do circuit breakers keep tripping in my home? These are likely signs that someone is in need of your services. So make sure that you have a Q&A for it, but also think about creating a blog post on it if it's relevant. So that's just another little trick another source I use to get those questions. So I just wanted to wrap up with that specific tip. Again, if you appreciate this content, you find it valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Once a week, we produce new videos that are really focused on helping electricians with their marketing so that they're better optimized and more competitive in their respective markets. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.